He's proving to be incredibly popular on the interweb, on the Instagram. Tim.Naki, I think it is. Tim from the Naki is joining us, I think, in Canada, Tim.
Yeah, how are we, gents? Calgary, Canada is where I come to you from today. It's a glorious occasion. Good to be joining you.
So, Blackjack, we're going to talk about all of that, but I want to figure out how a boy of farming stock ended up in Calgary, Canada. What sort of path did you take to land there?
Honestly, completely random. The missus and I guess, post-COVID times, we're sick of the grind a little bit. Initially, just thought we'd do a 2-year stint away, then back to the farming lifestyle, but this might be a spanner in the works on me getting home to do that anytime soon. I don't know. But yeah, it was just a random decision. Canada always seemed like a big New Zealand to me, or to us. So we thought we'd try it out. We holidayed here for 5 weeks and fell in love after about 4 days. So booked the ticket back.
So the big question is this Blackjack Instagram stuff a bit of a side hustle? Because, man, there's some coin being flipped around. Do you have a normal job?
No, not at the moment. Just sold up, finished up everything on the farm and come on over here and thought I'd just spend a bit of time on the mountains and enjoy my lifestyle for a while, as long as I could string it out, I guess. And the Blackjack's going to prolong the return home, that's for sure. The thing that everyone, I guess, misses with the Blackjack hand is, like, if they were to join today, it looks like it is a disgusting amount being launched each day. But it started with a $1,500 punt, which is still a lot of money, but obviously not the amounts seen throughout a day. We were just lucky, we won 7 of the first 10 days, and we've just been in profit all the way through. So essentially what we've got now, like the running tally, started off with a $1,500 investment, and it's just dumb, nonsensical luck.
The growth has been phenomenal, but we've seen one of my most unfavourite words is viral, but I don't mind using it for you because it's so bloody entertaining. How long ago was the $1,500 bet, and exponentially, how much has your followers gone up in that time?
I'm with you. Viral, it makes me... I can't swear, sorry. It makes me cringe, gets me uptight. Apologies, lads. It started... Today's going to be day 67. There was I think I've had a total of 9 or 10 days off in the midst of it all as well. So 1st of February was the $1,500 punt, 15,000 followers, and today was 780,000 followers, and I'll let the listener do the math on what size punt that is.
Man.
So it's nerve-wracking to even say.
So what I wanted to know back in the beginning is... $1,500, and did you ever envisage, how big did you envisage it getting? Because there must have been some thought in your head that, hey, this could get to 50,000 people and I've got to place a $5,000 bet. So when you're placing the 1,500 one, was there anything in your head that goes, shoot, if this goes up to 50 grand in a couple of days, I've got to start placing $5 grand bets, and I only have to lose a couple of them to all of a sudden having to be, put down money that I don't have?
Yeah, well, you've now the exact number that I thought in my wildest dreams it might get to. So I actually saw, I suppose in the gambling sphere, I probably was the first on this trend, but I actually saw this bloke doing it on Instagram. He was trying to change his lifestyle and health, and he was walking 1 inch for every follower every day. And he got up to walk a lot. He got up to walking like a half marathon every day. It's like, geez, the power of social media is massive. I was like, obviously the gambling sphere, it's a little bit of a gray area for a lot of people, so I'm probably not going to see it take off anywhere remotely close to that. But thought, yeah, maybe if we win a few hands early and we can sustain this for a while, it might get to 50,000 followers and $5,000 and a $5,000 bet for the day, like maybe over a reasonable period of time. I think, though, that we ended up doing a $5,000 punt like 10 days in or 12 days in or something. It's terrifying. But we wouldn't be here now if we hadn't had that winning stretch at the beginning. That's for certain. Like it would have all derailed a lot sooner if it hadn't been for that.
When was the first proper squeaky bum moment?
Oh, geez, it was getting squeaky bum. Like we were getting puckers when we were at 5,000. But again, it was like we were doing 2 steps forward, 1 step back for a while, and doing sort of winning 2, losing 1, but then we might win 3, lose 2. We were just on the right side of that, the trend every time. I think it was, I can't remember the exact day, but where it really took off was Super Bowl. It must have been day 14. Was the Super Bowl day, and I decided that day that I'd match the blackjack hand with a Super Bowl multi, and managed to get that one up. The last part of it that I had to get up was Pat Mahomes throwing for, was it 2 or 3 plus touchdowns? And the overtime touchdown he threw secured me the win. So I landed, and then from there, I guess that probably brought in North American followers with the Super Bowl aspect, and then it really lifted. And then that from day 14 onwards, where the bet every day started being a bit of a few laps around the apartment before I could sit in the chair and actually get it done, and I have to amp myself up to get in the throne.
One really interesting aspect for me, Tim, was you floated the idea, it's 10 cents a follower, you floated go to 5, go to 2, you put it to the vote, and I voted 2 because I wanted you to keep going. I thought if you keep going, if you get a rough trot, this is the end of my daily entertainment from Tim.Naki.
Thank you.
And you just went, bugger it, I'll stay at 10.
Oh, no, I did. I appreciate you voting for the 2, Staffy. I actually did drop to 2. I dropped to 2 cents per follower for maybe 5, it was like 6 days.
Yeah.
And then day 50 was like I was like, it's a milestone day. I've got to re-up it. And then on that day, I remember it was the first split hand of the entire series. I got dealt 8s versus a dealer 6 split, and then won both hands. I was like, oh, geez, we're off to the races. And then I thought, we'll stay at 10 cents, from going forward. And again, we're off to the races again. So I did contemplate dropping it back the other day after losing a couple in a row, but fortunately, we picked back up with a couple of wins, and it's still at 10 cents.
It's really cool as well how you say we, like you're the only one placing the bet here, but you're it's like that, everyone's involved. But unless your missus is the one hitting the button.
Oh, geez, yeah. When I say we, I'm really talking her. She's 90% of the say, isn't she? At the end of the day, I'm having to start to lie. I actually dropped to 1 cent per follower today, honey. Wasn't as much as you think.
I guess like a big question as well is how committed are you to it? Like, obviously you're in a position now where you could probably lose a couple of days in a row and it would be okay. But let's hypothetically say the luck went really, really south and all of a sudden you got down to $0 and you were, by your sort of your process, you'd have to place a $70,000 bet. Like, where do you sit at that point?
Oh no, I wouldn't. At this point, I won't let it get there. I would draw I guess the floor has been slowly creeping up with the, thankfully, progression and profit. I certainly let it get down to that level. I would walk away with something in hand for sure. If we lost like 3 in a row, then I would have to seriously. I would just have to veto the vote and drop the bet size back.
No, you'd say you can't lose 4. You can't lose 4. Let's go again.
They would say that. What are the chances? Well, believe me, we've had a loss streak of 5, maybe 6, so it's possible.
How do you think though the followers would react to that? If you were to basically say, guys, like I'm pulling it, like, do you think the audience is pretty receptive to you now to the point where they'd understand if you did take the money, or?
The majority would now, I think. I think the majority would. It's weird because it's not often that you see so much unity amongst like a social media group or gathering, but everyone seems to just want one for the good guy, one for us to beat the bookies. So at this point, a lot of them, or everyone really does want me to finish it up with profit, with the exception of a few, notorious individuals who just want to see me take it to naught. But I'm not going to allow that to happen. But I think they'd be fairly receptive. In my mind, I don't have a full exit strategy, but I would love to get to day 100. Today's going to be 67. At this level, it's a big ask, but I would love to get to day 100 and do something special for it.
We've got a special guest just joined us, Tim. And he's got his mic off mute. Former Wallaby hooker great Jeremy Paul, who's been following you early doors. JP, meet Tim.Naki.
Bro, how are you sitting down? How are you sitting down with the size of those kahunas, man? They are just, man. I have been riding this, man, from day one, man. You are my idol right now.
Yeah, brother. Between the nuts and the chafe on the bloody ring stinger from all the puckering, it is hard to sit, but I'm managing. And cheers for joining the journey, mate.
Oh, mate, it's been brilliant. I actually loved one of the first videos. I love the intro. It was 4 mates from college doing a bet to buy their ADHD medication.
Oh,
You
yeah.
put that 10K up. What about the mate next to you, the big bro on your left? He was going, "You imbecile! This was the stupidest thing," and then you pulled a 9 off a 12.
I know.
Like, it was like, oh wow! And he was going,
Oh,
"Yeah,
no.
man, I told you that was a smart thing. Like, we've all got to make
Never
like
in
that,
doubt.
right? Never in doubt.
Never in doubt. You've just got to fake it till you make it in those instances. I've got you, boys. Don't worry.
Was that one of the first bets you did?
That one was actually. I think it was before I did the first official 10 cents per follower bet. That was just myself and a couple of mates having a punt one day and got the camera rolling. And I was going to be public enemy number 1. I was a hero or getting a hiding that day. There was no in between. I wasn't going to take all 3 of them on if they turned on me if we lost.
Tim, have you been surprised with the people that have commented? Like, we see JP comments all the time. Kelly Slater has joined the party now. It's quite incredible.
Yeah, it is very incredible. Some of the people, I guess, closet degenerates, if you will, that have reached out to me and like DM me and said, "Oh, like, got all the support in the world." Like, I've had some of the Flames, the NHL Flames from Calgary here play our local team. A few of them reaching out. Like rugby, NRL stars, some Major League Baseball players. It's insane. Seems to be a lot of athletes who get around it, which I absolutely love that. We're all
they're not allowed to bet,
all one and the same. Yeah, true. I think they're living vicariously through me because they can't. Well, maybe Shohei Ohtani and his crew might have a different mindset to it, but yeah, for the most part, they can't have a punt. So I'm doing God's work for them.
Have you had any? Actually, I guarantee you will have had some people asking for you. Give us some cash. I'm broke.
Oh yeah, plenty of that. You just if you gloss over those ones, and you get a lot of that. And like most things, if you stick your name or particularly your face to anything on the internet, you get a bit of hate with it as well. Just people can't appreciate a good thing, but just brush it off. Like, it just comes. I didn't ask for it. Well, I have asked for it inadvertently, but with the growth, you just comes with the territory, unfortunately. But it is what it is.
How do you feel like after a massive win, say a push? What about those 3 pushes in a row that we had?
Oh, mate.
We had, yeah.
We, of course.
And a loss. Like, I mean, coming down from a footy game, like, it takes a very long time. So how's the emotions? Like, you must be just...
It is just pure elation, like euphoria for a win. And then the losses are just it's just the most hollow feeling, which I wouldn't relate it. I couldn't possibly relate it to like professional sports like yourself, but like, it is just that hollow feeling. And then the pushes are kind of maybe almost worse, like, than the losses, because it's just the most weird, numb feeling. It's like, well,
it's a draw.
What was even the point of this today? Like, what are people going to think? Like, why am I even putting this online? Like, it's a dirty push. The Alabama special.
Obviously, and I've looking at some of the other content as well. Obviously, you are a big punter and you love sport. And I know we reached out because we saw that you followed SENZ as well. But where does your blackjack, strategy come from? Like, have you been playing for a number of years? Have you been reading the manuals? Because you got all the terminology as well. Where does it all come from?
I've played plenty of blackjack over the years. I guess just from using it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a game of math and statistics, I suppose. So you learn over time. I'm not that good at maths, but I guess I've played enough hands to know what statistically I should do in each given scenario more than anything. So that would just hours and hours of playing the game, I suppose.
Last question.
A few graveyard shit at the casino. That's it.
You use one online casino. Have they reached out to you and just said, "We like what you're doing. You're killing us. You're thrilling us"? Have they reached out to you, because you'd be one of their biggest customers?
Yes, they've actually offered me. I think I've had every online casino in the world reach out at this point in time and offer partnership. I suppose they're happy to have a player doing it, really. They know they're probably going to win in the long haul. If I was to keep doing it the way I am, I mean, we won't tell them I've got a firm bottom line, because they'll be shutting me down. But they've reached out along with every other bloody outfit in the world, and trying to trying to get a bit of the action, I suppose, after seeing the size of the daily punts now. But it's good, I suppose, that they're reaching out.
Having been in the bookmaking game for many, many years, if I was that online casino, I'd contact you and say, "Hey, mate, we'll give you 10 grand a week, and we'll just keep this following growing and growing and growing." In fact, this is my suggestion to go back to them. You give me 10 grand a week for the next year, and we'll go 3 wins, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 loss, just to keep that momentum going.
That's cheeky.
And I reckon they'll jump on board.
It would be damn near. I mean, if you could find a way to rig it like that, it would be great from their end, I suppose. And they're going to have to find their own little Latvian casino setup, because a lot of people thought that or do think that the deals and stuff are AI, which I debunked that for people the other day. They're actually real people. I think they're set up somewhere in Eastern Europe. I imagine there's just a great big warehouse somewhere with a whole lot of tables, and they operate like the tables that way. But yeah, I don't know if you could, but I actually do have a partnership coming out of it, which I can't announce just yet, but which is going to be really cool. So something's come from it.
Nice.
Which I don't know, maybe I can make a buck out of going forward, but at the moment,
is that like your merch? Is that like your merch, man? Adventures of Tintin and Blackjack. I
can't. It's so weird. The whole Adventures of Tintin thing's just the accent, right? Like the Americans or the Brits taking the accent and running with it, and they basically created the Adventures of Tintin themselves, and I've just gone and run with it, which is not done the marketing for me. I've just reached out, got the merch made, and got her going.
What are your, I guess, advice be to? I think there'll be people that watch you and think, I want to do something like this. So I want to give it a go. I've seen someone in Aussie. I don't know if you know this person, but I've seen someone in Aussie doing horse punting. He punts on the last race,
Benny.
and he's in the red big time.
He's having a shocker.
So I guess, what is your advice of everything you've learned over the last 67 days?
Well, don't do it. For every one of me, there's going to be 3 or 4 of those, right? Like, it's just the way, or even more. It's just the way it's going to go. There's a reason why there's so many sports books, casinos, etc. in the world, and it's because the house does win. So we are well and truly an anomaly at the moment to be in the green, to be on the right side of it. But just don't do it. Do it vicariously through someone else like myself.
We're so good. We're going to have to head off. JP, you can say Uru to Tim.Naki. When we told him on Friday you were coming on this week, he said, "Mate, I want to join the call. So there you go, JP.
Cheers. I will just say this. Cheers, gents, but I will say this. I did break a bit of a media curse the other day, but I haven't won a hand yet.
Oh, we know.
After talking to any NZ media, no pressure, lads.
Tomorrow's the
no
day.
pressure.
I actually thought to myself, man, I'm very superstitious. I used to put my left sock on first,
Same.
left boot, right sock, right boot, then tie my left. Like I literally had. And whenever I lost, I'd always get a new pair of boots. So I almost didn't want to come onto this because I didn't want to be a part of it. No, you got this, bro, man. You have got this. You have got this.
Up the waz.
Yeah, I reckon we could up the waz. Indeed, up the waz. And I think we could be in the clear.
Tim,
good on ya.
Naki. Go and follow on Instagram. It's a daily dose of joy that you cannot get yourself.
SENZ.